What is up, y'all? Welcome to episode 1 of the Restored Geeks Podcast. This is the new revamped one. The reason why I'm calling it episode 1 is because it's much easier to explain this than our new revamping that we're doing. Or reimagining, I guess, where instead of trying to explain it on episode like 50 or whatnot. But we will explain exactly what we're doing in our podcast topic section. So, yeah. Anyway, let's start off. So, yeah, my name is Tristan.
I'm Chandler. I'm Joseph.
Yes, sir. And, so we'll start off with what we're playing this week in gaming. We'll start off with the gaming section. Talking about what we've been gaming this week. Talking about what games we've been playing this week. Boy, if we were live streaming right now, I'd be fumbling hard, right?
Yeah.
So I'll start with mine. Clair Obscure Expedition 33. I can't really give any statement on it, but all what I'll say is that its beginning is interesting. It's got fantastic music. Like, its music is almost like unique to it. If you get what do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's really good. The beginning it sets up an interesting premise. Like, so don't spoil anything, Chandler, because I know you've beaten it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But, so, it seems like right now, it seems like, did it start off with, like, year 100, and then it just kind of went down a year each time, and so people are getting younger and younger and dying younger and younger?
Yeah.
With it? Okay. And I'm guessing the expedition is kind of like the Titan Force and Attack on Titan, where they're trying to take care of the problem that seems to be,
yes,
if you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's going to unravel the mystery of what's actually going on as
correct.
Okay. So I've only made like maybe an hour into it, so I that's all I can say.
And this isn't a spoiler for the story. It doesn't change anything based on what you just said.
Yeah.
The reason it goes from 100 and down is because at a younger age you have more chroma, which he has already mentioned that the people have chroma.
That's kind of like the magic.
The life force.
Or the life force, yeah.
You have more. The older you are, the easier it is to remove.
Yeah.
Because you don't have as much.
I will say when they get to the tree, it almost kind of like turns into Metal Gear Solid for a second, because the way it introduces, like, I guess, and whoever that villain is it's kind of like weird horror game mystery-esque that a lot of the Metal Gear Solid.
I already spoiled his name to you, but
yeah. But yeah, it's really interesting so far. I haven't gotten enough into it to say if it's like solid or great or anything like that, so I'll hold on to...
What was the most recent area you went to?
I went to where that pile of dead bodies was. He almost went to kill himself, and then I fought the enemy that shows up.
Oh, so he's gotten nowhere.
I guess. I mean, it says I got an hour into it. I went around talking to like everybody.
Yeah, I did too.
That's why I've gotten an hour into it, so...
I was just saying there's other stuff I was going to ask if you got a little bit further.
Yeah. But yeah, I highly recommend it just based on what I saw. It's a small studio that made this game, and this game has got more passion put into it than 99% of AAA games right now.
Correct.
So go support it. We need to support really good games like this. So that's about all games I played this week. What about you, Joseph?
I played myself some Destiny 2, some more Destiny 2.
Oh, I really don't care. Go on, Jay. What are you playing?
Played another game, but we'll probably talk about it in the gaming section.
We are in the gaming section.
I'm talking about the other things.
Yeah. Gaming news.
Doom. It's fine. I played Doom.
Yeah, Doom Eternal. No. Doom Dark Ages.
Doom Dark Ages. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
And Fortnite.
Nice.
I think that's it.
Doom Guy's in Fortnite, isn't he?
Yeah, Doom Guy's in Fortnite.
So I thought. Yes.
Been there for a while.
What about you, Chandler? What have you been playing?
I'm on my... played a little bit of Elden Ring, as you saw, as I spent 2 hours farming and never got the weapon. Magma Blade. I hate it.
You still ain't got it?
No. I got bored and went to other games like Doom Eternal.
Yeah, we all keep saying Doom Eternal.
Doom Dark Ages, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Yep.
And then I'm on a Terraria playthrough right now of the Infernum Calamity mod, which I may have wanted to put a hole through the wall earlier when I played, but then we all got to play the pray and not get hit by a tornado game on Friday. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're not going to give away where we live at, but yeah, we had some severe weather the other day. So, yeah, that was wild. But luckily, it didn't hit us too hard here. We just got hail and a light show outside.
Wendigo, and how was your time in the... Because I
Yes.
do know where you live, and you were right in the path of some of that stuff, so
We know where you live, Wendigo.
I'm not going to come to your house.
I will.
Okay. I mean, I forgot that I've already been to your house, and I was in the trees. Remember?
I'm in your walls.
I got a little busy recently, but maybe this summer I'll be watching you again.
We're in your walls. We're doing this podcast in your wall, in your attic, right?
In your attic.
Your internet's pretty good. We get to upload these pretty quick.
Yeah, for real. Anyway, I guess we'll move on.
Just like the birds in your attic were in his attic.
Yes.
But
I guess we'll move on to gaming news now.
so, Nintendo.
Is gunning for EA spot of worst
Yeah, they are definitely gunning for they.
gaming studio.
EA canceled a Titanfall sequel, and Nintendo said, "Nah,
Yeah.
they can't be the most hated.
No,
We gotta come out swinging," and they definitely came out swinging.
they went on their arc where they accepted being a villain, and now they're on their villain arc.
So I'll do the one that annoys me first, and that's the fact that most, not all, but most of the Switch 2 cartridges are said to only carry a network key to download. Network key, what? A key to download the game.
Yeah.
Network key. That's how you log on to the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Anyway, they no longer will have full games on the cartridges.
Mhm.
This is making me mad, especially when I'm looking this up and stuff, and people are literally saying, well, the cartridges are small, so we're getting to the point where we can't fit games on there. Nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
We have chips, microchips, that are down at the micro level that can hold terabytes now.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
Your little chip can hold Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I don't want to hear that.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
They're trying to remove game preservation.
Mm-hmm.
And another example of this is the reason that I will not be purchasing Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Very likely will not unless something crazy happens that I absolutely need it. Darn it, there's a FromSoft game.
Yeah, the Dark Souls game.
We'll see how that's received day one.
I won't even pre-order that. I'm going to wait and see how it's perceived, because if it's not something spectacular, I'm still not buying a Switch 2.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo now, in their EULA agreement, reserves the right to remotely, completely brick your console.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they say it's only if you mod the console.
Yeah.
First off, I bought the console.
Yeah.
It's my console.
Mm-hmm.
You let me do what I want with it.
Yes.
Stop being Apple.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Second off, you want to take me off the internet so I can't play with other people? That is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's fine. Protect other people from me modding my own Switch.
Yeah.
But it's mine.
Yeah.
You have no right to destroy a product that I paid for.
Yeah.
And then people are like, well, it's only if you mod, so don't mod the Switch. I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah. Exactly.
The moment somebody is posting something that Nintendo don't like gameplay or something that they want removed, boom, their console's bricked.
Yeah. Exactly. It's. I mean, I get the only thing it's not your product because you can't just sell it as your product. You can't take their hardware. Well, I mean,
You can't sell it as your product, but when you buy a product, it is yours.
well, you can. I'm talking about the design. You can't take the design and then.
Then that's not selling the product. You
Yeah.
just reverse engineered, and then you're going into different territory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you 100% can. I can take that Switch and then be like, hey, Joe, you want it for $200?
No, yeah, that's not what
and
I'm
then
talking
Joe
about.
takes it.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the design of it itself. You can't take that and then make it.
No,
say
but if I want to, as Mudahar, shout out to Mudahar,
Yeah.
even though he don't need it.
Yeah. Mudahar, you shout out us.
He 100% is right when he says that you should be allowed to mod your own consoles. He has a video out recently, which I was going to show you here in a little bit, a clip from it, because that's the angriest I've heard him be in a while.
At Nintendo?
Apple.
Oh, Apple.
Because they're trying to screw people over and not being able to download anything they want.
Mm-hmm.
He said, and he basically put it this way, imagine buying a PC, but you're only allowed to play the games that they sanction for you to download. You're only allowed to install the drivers that they sanction for you to download.
Mm-hmm.
You're only able to program things that they sanction you can program
Mm-hmm.
on the hardware that you purchased.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
exactly. Yep.
That's the problem here.
Yep.
And
That's why I don't really support a lot of Apple.
exactly. And I'm 100% not supporting Nintendo on this. I was thinking of pre-ordering. No.
Yeah, no.
Not anymore. They came out swinging and said, we want everyone to hate us because we are the scummiest company right now.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you manage to become scummier than EA?
Yeah. Yeah, takes a lot.
Speaking of scummy companies,
Mm-hmm.
Bungie, which I forgot to mention, I've been playing the Forbidden Game again.
Yeah, of course you have. I thought you broke up with it.
I gotta get footage.
Bruh.
Anyway, Bungie recently had their marathon beta?
I guess you
Alpha? I don't remember. But
play test.
it was 2 weeks ago because we talked about it then.
Yeah.
And we were like, it looks meh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I play this over Tarkov?
Uh-huh.
But some people started to notice, some creators online started to notice, hey, that's my stuff.
Yeah.
And it turns out Bungie has plagiarized multiple artists
Mm-hmm.
for a marathon, just straight up ripping their assets to put it in a marathon.
Nice.
And if you thought this, I'm going to say allegedly, just to be safe, but they did actually have to apologize and compensate one of the artists,
Mm-hmm.
which leads me to be like, huh. But they're in legal trouble, apparently. I don't know too much about that yet because it's hush-hush. It's legal trouble. They can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff's not just getting leaked left and right.
Yeah.
But this is not the first time Bungie's been caught doing this, because they allegedly plagiarized an entire fan-made cutscene for the Witch Queen launch trailer. And then they apparently also plagiarized, Gaul was a fan-made thing. They apparently plagiarized him, allegedly, and most of the Red War was plagiarized, which is why it's not been brought back.
Yeah.
Bungie.
Yes.
They can't fix it.
Bungie, listen to me. Change your name. Because
Yes.
you're not Bungie anymore, you skinwalker freaks.
Yes, you've character assassinated Bungie. Yeah, the Bungie that we knew from Halo is dead. So.
Change your names to Shut Up, Give Me Money, Screw You, the company.
Yes. Exactly. Go support Claire Obscura Expedition 30.
But I will be playing the next DLC in Renegades because I will be fighting Darth Vader.
I hate you so much.
I want to fight.
Listen, let me explain what they're doing. This is called key jangling. They take things that tug on people's nostalgia, they dangle in front of you, and that's how they get you.
Cool.
And you're falling for it.
Cool.
Yes.
But we have to see if it actually is gonna be good or not.
See, that's the problem. They dangled the key in front of you, and now you're like,
No.
Yeah. Go support Claire Obscura Expedition 30.
You say that like I haven't.
I'm talking to the audience.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have supported. He's the only one who's not supporting.
Go support it.
I think that's all I have. I think we're on the Doom.
Yeah, the impressions, because we played some
It's
new
mid.
games. Doom Dark Ages.
Is mid.
Sure, yes. Moving on. All right. So, movie second. Anyway.
Doom Dark Ages right now, I do think it's fun, but I think it's a step down from Eternal.
From what I've seen, because I haven't played it, it looks like more Doom, which is fine. That's good.
Well, that's what we wanted.
Yeah, that's what we...
More Doom. The problem is they've removed stuff that was in Eternal.
Yeah. Well, like, it's not... Yeah, it's more Doom, which is fine. That's not a bad thing. It's just it doesn't have anything special to it that would make me put it above 2016 or Eternal.
I put it above 2016. But my biggest gripes with Eternal is the removal of glory kills.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
some of the attacks on these enemies are just bullcrap. Like the imps being able to throw an entire wall at you.
Yeah.
And then attacks going through enemies while you're trying to fight them and you can't see the other enemy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Now, all right, go on.
And then the biggest gripe I would say I have is McGordon is sorely missed. The soundtrack is not good.
Well, from what I heard, it's not bad. It's just not Mick Gordon.
Yeah.
It's not our sweet, sweet Mick.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that I'm incredibly disappointed on is the Atlan missions. The dragon missions are decent.
Yeah.
Decent. They're not good. They're decent. You fly around on a dragon, you shoot things. I don't even get to breathe fire. That's stupid. But the Atlan missions are all point A to point B, throw punches. I beat, on my first playthrough, almost all of them without taking a single hit.
Yeah.
I'm about 90% sure there was a part in Eternal that shows that you can't kill these big things without the Crucible Sword, so punching them with the Atlan doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It felt more like they should have gone for much larger missions for the Atlan missions.
Yeah.
I just feel like they've just been thrown in just because people are complaining that they don't get to drive one in Eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because DLC, you get to see people in those, and plus you have one in your base, so people are like, why can't we use that?
Now, you've beaten it, haven't you?
Yes.
So
Final boss is pretty good.
Okay. Well,
It's got 5 phases.
yeah. That's one thing I will say about 2016. The final boss of 2016 versus Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is better. Because 2016's is just kind of... It's a normal enemy, just bigger.
Yeah.
What Eternal actually has, like that, what is it called? Icon of Sin, which was actually really good. I enjoyed that.
I will say I don't know how I feel about there having a full-fledged story on this game because it's just your generic demon going for super weapon, must kill demon before he gets super weapon. Oh no, demon got super weapon, must kill demon anyway.
Yeah. Does that happen in Dark Ages?
Yes, that's Dark Ages story in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I do get to fight Big Chungus.
Big Chungus? Who's Big Chungus?
The Chungus maker.
Oh, the Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah.
Or the guy from Dune Part 1?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. He's floating in a chair, and he, for whatever reason, is able to float out of it and do stuff.
But I still think it's a good game. I'm not going to talk too much on the botched PC port because we were playing on PlayStation, so it didn't affect us.
Yeah, we very selective what we play on PC now.
Yeah, the PC port is horrendous. Like,
not surprised.
If it's a small game, it'll probably be better on PC, but if it's like one of these big games, stuff like that, probably on PlayStation because a lot of big games are always...
If it's like huge multiplayer, PC is probably the best way to go. But single player stuff is always better on console, at least right now, because companies can't seem to... Well, I don't know. Do you think it's... Because what you said yesterday, do you think it's the gaming company's fault or the PC maker game?
If it's this bad, it's the gaming company's fault, obviously, because the driver's just crashing constantly like that.
Yeah.
But there are some circumstances where it's not really the gaming company's fault. It's difficult to actually optimize for mismatched parts that are on everyone's PC.
Yeah.
But the thing is the way you tell the difference is it like just a couple people or is it everybody? And in this case, it's everybody.
Oh, it's everybody? Okay. Yeah, because I know it has to be hard to like try and compensate for somebody who's got a NVIDIA graphics card and then a what's it called?
AMD motherboard.
AMD motherboard and Intel processor or something like that. Well, no, you can't put an Intel.
Can't do that.
Never mind.
But still, it's mismatched parts. You could have you could also end up with people who have a 10th gen CPU with a GTX 960.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or it's just mismatched parts. It's hard to deal with. That's why when I said the other day, people saying it's not my PC because my PC's a beast, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
It could still, your PC does still play a part, but in the case of Doom Eternal, Doom Dark Ages,
yes,
It's not really people's PCs. It's mostly the actual game itself. Something happened with the drivers that released for this, and it was causing major crash issues.
Yeah. But what will you say about the game overall?
It's still a fun game.
Fun? Yeah.
I love the exploration aspects and all that in it.
Yeah. Still ripping and tearing?
Do I think it's game of the year? No.
No.
That goes to Expedition 33 so far.
So far, yeah. Definitely.
It will probably stay with them because all the other games got delayed.
Yep. But GTA 6?
Delayed.
To next year, isn't it? Yeah. So, yep. All right.
I really wish companies would stop announcing games if they're going to just delay them or not come out for 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. Don't announce your game until you're almost done with it.
Yeah.
All right. That is the gaming section. We're now going to move into the movie section. Which, have you watched a movie? Chilling?
We watched... What was it we watched yesterday, Joe? What was it? Poop and Boots. Poop and Boots. We watched... What was the other ones?
What?
Yeah, we watched Poop and Boots. That was one of them.
Is this Puss in Boots 3?
We got Poop and Boots. We had what was it? It was like Up. It was Up, but it was something else.
Down.
No.
Hold on, just give me a moment. I can go back through my history.
Well, did you find these on YouTube and just watch them?
They're YouTube poops of movies.
YouTube poops? Was it like Puss in Boots Last Wish? Yes. Bruh.
Alright, from the bottom up, we watched Cloudy with a Chance of Meme Balls.
Meme Ball.
Poot and Boot.
Poot and Boot.
Sup. A Lad.
A lad.
Is that Aladdin?
Yep.
A lad.
And then we watched That's Me.
What is that?
Despicable Me.
That's me.
And we watched The Leg of Batman.
The Lego, is that Lego Batman?
Yep. And then we watched Poop and Boots and Poop and Boots 2. And then we watched Kung Fu Boy the Mantis.
Nice. So it's just a bunch of like dumb
yes.
YouTube poops with using the movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bruh.
I love them.
That's hilarious. What about you, Joseph? Besides the YouTube poops, what, have you watched anything?
No, just the YouTube poop movies.
Wait, we need to get our movie watching stuff up. Well,
I was gonna watch the Overlord movie, but
there's an Overlord movie, bruh.
I haven't gotten to watch it yet.
Well, I watched a movie called Alto Nights. It's based on a true story about I forgot what their names were, but it was mobsters, and one was like wanting to retire, but the other one has like a friend mobster who spent years in prison and then got out, and but instead of learning, from his mistakes, he just has to go right back into it, and ends up essentially like destroying the friend who.
Oh, is this that one that came upstairs and they were like at a party and the police
it's got
coming?
Robert De Niro, I think is his name, in it, yeah. And he ends up trying to get his friend who wanted to retire, like, trying to kill him, and all of that. But I mean, it's a pretty solid movie. That's about all I'll say on it. It's mostly almost like a documentary because the Robert De Niro's character kind of just throughout a lot of it kind of narrates it. So, but yeah, it's pretty good. I recommend it. It's obviously it's one of those, mob movies where they say the F word every other word.
Yeah.
So you get sick of that word just about by the end of it. I will say there is zero sex and nudity in it, so that was actually kind of refreshing to see.
Nice.
Because a lot of those mob movies, they'll always shoehorn in something like that because for whatever reason, but yeah, it's actually pretty solid. I recommend it. So
why did every mobster buy the same car?
yes, it was like back in like the 60s, so like a lot of cars just kind of almost look the same. What? No, they were all stupid for going to the party thing because they what's his name set him up and knew that the FBI was the main character. He set him up because he knew that the FBI was watching that place. And he purposefully made the guy that was driving him to the party take a detour. And so by the time he got to the party, they were all being searched by the police. So, yeah. That's kind of a spoiler for the movie, by the way. So
Thanks.
yes.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's a good movie. It's solid. So, yeah. I don't really have any movie news on that. But we'll get into the TV show section. I guess the only thing I would say before, because we got some impressions to TV shows. Yeah, The Last of Us Season 2 is currently airing an episode every single week, and it is apparently falling flat on its face because what it's apparently trying to do is fix what a lot of the people who don't like The Last of Us Part 2's game story is, but in the wrong way. Because The Last of Us Part 2, one of the main problems that those of us that don't like it have is, one, the direction that it took. Two, it's really bad efficiency in telling its story. It spends too much time on Abby, and Abby is just unlikable. Joel's death happens suddenly, and there's no build up to it, nothing. What I've always said about The Last of Us Part 2 as a story, it has a masterpiece of a story buried underneath a thick layer of self-indulgence, in my opinion, of that. So they could have fixed that with the show, but instead they decided to go for Happy Fun Times Ellie. And Ellie is apparently like very happy-go-lucky in this for whatever reason. It spends too much time on her and Dina's relationship. And it is so like tone deaf, and so in the sense that like you have this crazy zombie world outside, but on the inside here, they're having like a happy, fun, go time thing. And apparently because I haven't seen it, I've been listening to a lot of people talk about it. Apparently it only gets dark when the plot requires it to get dark, and then it just turns happy again, which at least the game was consistent with this dark, gritty tone throughout the entire game. So they decided to try and fix The Last of Us Part 2 in the wrong way, apparently. So yeah, that's been airing, and I guess I don't really recommend it because from what I've heard, because it's just a waste of time, apparently. But what I've heard is not a waste of time, and that I'm currently watching right now, is Andor Season 2, which just finished, I think, this past week. And now IMDb is not the end-all be-all, especially after, recent things being highly, highly rated, unnecessarily, in my opinion, that have came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say most of Andor Season 2 has like 9.7s and 9.8 episodes on there. So it's definitely interesting, and a lot of people whose opinion I respect are saying that it's one of the best seasons of television to come out in a long time. And so, yeah, I highly recommend watching. So if you want to watch a season of television that actually continues what it set up in its first season, correct, like in a good way, I highly recommend that. So even though I haven't finished it, I'm going to finish it. Finishing Season 1, I will say that I think Season 1 is a solid 8 out of 10. In my opinion, it's definitely a slow burn pace, so that might not be for everybody, but when it hits its payoffs, it's really good. Like,
that's kind of how The Mandalorian was for this first season.
Yeah. Now, there isn't anything none of the payoffs are like super, super high where it makes me give it a 9 or a 10. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but it in the first season. Now, I still have yet to watch the second season, but a lot of people say that the payoffs in the second season, the setups and the payoffs in the second season are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably give that opinion next week I plan on watching through the second season this week. So writing wise, it seems really, really good so far. So yeah. Now there's another show that we've been watching. We haven't finished it, but we've watched, I think, halfway through it now.
Oh, we're on episode 12 of 25.
Episode 12 of 20? Yeah, okay, so.
Yeah, so pretty much halfway, yeah.
And that is Berserk. Yeah, the original 1997 version that Chandler actually bought on DVD.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks a lot better than that awful looking remake to it. But what do you think about it so far, Charlie?
NPC dialogue.
NPC dialogue.
Yeah. Now, do you think it's an actual flaw, or do you think it's a product of like?
No, that's just them trying to flesh out the show.
Yeah, it's got that old 90s anime where it does not have any ambiance.
Yeah.
To it. It is dead silent until somebody talks. And every now and then it'll have a song playing in the background, but
a meme song. But
a lot of memes came from it. Yeah.
No, I like. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it so far.
Yeah.
I think it's okay right now. I wouldn't say it's S tier anime yet.
Yeah. Well, a lot of what we've been watching right now is setup. It's gotten to a couple of payoffs, but yeah.
The problem is that we're at half of the entire show is setup.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. When it comes to setup, how slow they are depends on how good the payoff is. So I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, spoiler warning for it, because we're going to go into a couple of spoilers for the first half. I do think it's well put together so far. There's Guts. If there's one big flaw, I would say Guts has plot armor. That is pretty obvious in a lot of spots. The main character.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll get into situations and characters will conveniently try to get him out.
Yeah.
Just show up and get him out. Like, for instance, one of the payoffs is he finally comes across a demon. Apostle, I think is what they're called.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Something the ultimate or
Lodo or something like that?
The Immortal.
Mortal, yeah.
The Immortal. From Invincible?
It's Nosferatu Zod, the Immortal.
Zod, there you go, yeah. Zod. He comes across Zod, and that's the first, like, demon that he comes across. And that demon gets him to where it's about to rip him apart. And the other character, Griffith, and his comrades just, like, show up right there on time to shoot arrows at the demon. So you do have spots like that, but other than that, it's actually, like, really solid so far. But it does have the funny, like, old anime dialogue where they're just like, "Today was a good day. Yes, sir. Yes, it was, sir." And it's
Yeah,
we did. Yeah. Like I said, there's like no ambiance. It is dead silent until somebody talks. Every now and then there will be a song that will play in the background.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you think of like the animation, the action and all that? Because it does use like not stop motion. What was it called? Like the pictures.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that doesn't bother me at all. I watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah, the old Dragon Ball. Yep.
A lot of old animes use that.
No, I'm fine with that. And One Piece is the same way for a while.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about Guts saying "F them kids"?
He killed that kid.
He says they saw me, and it just charges and slams a sword into it. Yeah, we have not got. Yeah, apparently this anime is like really rough. We have not gotten to those parts yet. It apparently happens in like the last half here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we do give like a warning. This anime, apparently Adult Swim refused to air it when it first came out. So, yeah, that's how rough it apparently gets. What?
Adult Swim refusing to air it's wild.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about the women? What's her name? Casca or Casa?
I mean, I don't like her right now, but
right now, I don't know if she'll like get development later, but she's kind of like that like lady from Devil May Cry right now, where she's just one dimensional.
Yeah.
I mean, Guts is kind of one dimensional too, but
yeah, but he's a man, so
very true, very base, very based. But they apparently get their backstories like in the last half. So, but yeah, the first half so far is a lot of setup. So, which some of it could have been probably condensed a little bit, but we'll see how the last half is. So yeah, but yeah, just warning if you go into it, because it is not a fun.
Oh, yeah, no good luck going into it. You gotta buy the disc, wait for it to come in.
Yeah,
because you can't get it anywhere else.
Yeah, but yeah, it has rough content in it, so just be cautious going into it if you have a personal conviction on that. So yeah, anyway, that is all the TV news. We're going to get into our main topic now, which is basically going to, so this is what we're doing. Well, this is what we're doing from now on for our reimagining of the podcast. When we started this channel, our main thing we really wanted to do was do biblical analysis from a Christian perspective on stories and the themes in stories. So in order to make this more consistent for us on here, we decided to add it to the podcast so we can actually go into it and start doing those more. And what we'll do is we will have these regular podcasts. It will make these podcasts longer, but what we'll do is we'll have, the first half will be the movies, gaming, TV show, news, and all that, and what we've been watching, playing, and everything going on. And then the last half will be a main topic of analysis from a biblical perspective on our favorite, well, not really favorite, just movies and TV shows and gamings, the stories to those, and more specifically the themes. We're not going to be analyzing the writing necessarily to it from like an objective kind of secular standpoint. We do that on Dorathion. Now here we're going to analyze the themes and all that, and how the themes are done from our biblical perspective. And for anybody that may want to know, like, from what biblical kind of viewpoint is that, like, where in the Bible is that from, our main ethos here is basically Paul at Athens in Acts 17, where Paul he's taken as a prisoner to Athens, Greece, and he's before I forgot exactly what it was, but while he was going through Athens, he noticed a whole bunch of altars to different gods, and he found one. He saw one that said the altar to the unknown God. And so when he got before the leaders there, he actually used the altar to the unknown God, to preach the gospel, basically, to them by using that. And that's essentially what our ethos here is doing, because the Bible has in it that God owns the entire universe. Everything within the universe that is good comes from him. What is the bad stuff is basically taking the good stuff and then corrupting it. So storytelling at its core is not a bad thing. And it doesn't matter who it comes from, whether Christian or non-Christian. Non-Christians they're using God's world to make, and the brain and logic and creativity that God gave them to tell stories. And since they're made in the image of God, they can still come up with things that are good and beautiful, and or things that will make us think. And we as Christians can still process those from a biblical perspective. And that's exactly what we're going to do here on this channel, is process stories from a biblical perspective. We here at Restored Geeks, we don't have, well, here, let me say it this way. We have a fairly high threshold of what we're able to consume in terms of content, meaning that some of the stories we're going to be analyzing here, they're going to be R-rated, they're going to be TVMA rated. Not all of them, but some of them will be. And some of them will have rough content, like we just brought up Berserk in our TV show section. Some of them will have rough content like that, and we will have discussions on some rough themes, like, maybe essay or, self-deletion, depression, all that in some stories. But we will do it from our biblical perspective, and we will bring out the good in that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring out the good while exposing and announcing the bad as well. And then when you have like the gray area stuff, we will talk about the complexity of the gray area stuff, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
So yeah, just giving a warning on that, because, you may see with every wholesome thing that we will do an analysis on, you may see one that has a very bleak story to it, like Berserk or what's another bleak story?
We did Sopranos.
Yeah, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, all of that. Yeah, like we've done Sopranos already on our channel. So, and you've done was the Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to come out with more, because in our first one next week we plan on doing is on Andor, and the themes in that. So, because I'm going to be watching through the second season on that, and when I'll have that done, and so I'll try and analyze it from a biblical perspective on here. And then on Dorathion, I plan on having like an objective writing analysis video on there.
Yeah.
So on Andor as well. So yeah, that's what we plan on doing here from now on our podcast. So yeah. Now this episode is short because this is mainly an introduction episode to our new revamping of the podcast. But our next ones are probably going to be anywhere from like an hour to 2 hours long. So, and what I'll do is I'll upload the episodes, and then I will take out the biblical analysis section and re-upload that one as its own standalone episode or standalone video as well.
Yeah, I get like we used to you used to individually do that with topics, but
yeah, but I think this one will be better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will upload those individually right after that. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
I mean, technically we did do a very, very small one that you already did that with the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes.
Because that was technically a small biblical analysis.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But now we're going to go into
these ones will be full in-depth like our Sopranos one where we go scene by scene.
Yeah.
Somewhat. And then
talk about stuff. Yeah.
We did go very scene by scene with the Sopranos.
Yeah. I don't know if we need to do that. Do it like that extensively. Yeah. So.
No, come on. We're building up. We'll eventually be the EFAP podcast where we'll have like 6 people.
Yes.
And we'll be on Discord.
For 8 hours.
8-hour biblical analysis. Wendigoon can join.
Yeah, well, we'll have to have them in parts. It'll be 3 8-hour videos.
Yeah.
So daggone.
It'll be so long that me and you will still be talking while people are coming and going.
Yes.
Because they got stuff to do.
Yes, exactly. Yep. But yeah, that's what we're planning on doing from now on. So yeah, if y'all like the video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you really like what we do and want to support us more. It'll help us out greatly. Thank y'all for watching or listening. We love y'all. God bless y'all. And we will see you all next time.
Peace.